got a chance, take it. Take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it. Cause a dream won't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can, till you can.
All right, so getting the morning started in the kitchen. It's actually 4:10 a.m. Woke up a little early today. Woke up like 10 minutes ago, 4 a.m. Generally with my sleep, I'm waking up at like, usually between 4:30 and 5. But I think for me, you know, some days I wake up a little earlier. It's fine because I actually went to bed a little earlier last night. So as far as sleep, what's helped me a lot, even if sometimes I get less than 8 hours, as long as I'm going to bed at the same time and I'm waking up close to the same time, I still feel the same. So for example, I'm kind of like a grandma and grandpa. I go to bed at 8, between 8 and 8:30. That's my time frame. And then, you know, I usually wake up around 4:30 to 5, which is, you know, what's that, 9 hours in bed. Excuse me, that's like 8 to 8.5 hours of bed. But even if on days I wake up a little earlier, I still feel good, because I think a big thing is just sleep consistency. So if you can establish a bedtime and kind of stay within 30 minutes of that, maybe your bedtime's like, because you're a real person, you're not, you got a social life, you go to bed at 10 to 10:30, but I'm saying try to keep that consistent. You know, say go to bed at 9 one day, 11 one day, midnight one day, 10:30 one day. Keep it within that 30 minutes. You'll start waking up at the same time. I haven't set an alarm I've maybe set one alarm in the last year, because, you know, there's no need, I don't need to set an alarm, because I know the latest I'll ever sleep in is 6. If, you know, that's once in a blue moon. Again, it's usually 4:30, like 5. Which I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice waking up early. I love waking up early. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm kind of this early. It's like, but I'm super productive in the morning. That's when I do a lot of good stuff. But then that means in the afternoon, it's like by like 12 or like 1, I'm like done with everything. I'm like, oh, I have nothing to do. But I think for sleep, the biggest thing that's helped me is just having a consistent bedtime, because even if you have those days where you wake up earlier than you usually do, you still kind of feel the same. I don't know, because your body's kind of used to that clock. So looking to getting a consistent bedtime, try to find it within 30 minutes of each other, and just be strict with it, be disciplined with it. Look, I don't have any bedtime routine. I'm on my phone. I lay on my phone, but once it's like, okay, today or this week I'm going to bed at 8:15. I'm on my phone. It's 8:15. Bop, off. And most of the time, before it's even that, it's like 8:03 and I'm already off of it. But just have strict time stamps for that. And once you start falling asleep at the same time, you'll feel great, because your body's just, it knows, it's just your body's smart. It knows when to sleep, knows when to wake up, and it just ebbs and flows. So that's been kind of my process with it. But making up breakfast, I literally wake up and I beeline it straight downstairs to eat this, because I'm so excited, so juiced up to eat these eggs. So if I can focus, we got 7:49 last night. Also, that watch is an Amazfit, and I have no affiliation with them. But it's a pretty decent watch. It's like a cheaper looking Garmin. It was like, I think it was $200, but it's like a smartwatch. I wore a Whoop for like 2 years, and I still have my Whoop, but I kind of haven't worn it. Well, I've started wearing it less and less over the last couple of months, and then the last 2 weeks, I just haven't even worn it at all. Now, I think Whoops are great. I really enjoy it. The only reason I took it off is because I just didn't like having two things on. And with my Whoop, the only metric I was really looking at was my sleep. Now, I will say Whoop has the best sleep on there, because this one said I was asleep for 7 hours, 49 minutes, but it doesn't take into account awake time. So like, you'll look at the chart and be like, you're awake for 1 minute. It's like, I know I was awake for more than 1 minute because I went to the bathroom. So the good thing about the Whoop is or at least mine was so dialed into me, that would be like, I would usually on average, if I were in bed for 8.5 hours, I would lose 45 minutes a night. So usually 45 minutes was my average awake time. So now what I do is I just take that and I subtract it from my sleep. So for example, last night would have been 7 hours, 4 minutes in my head with it. But I still have the Whoop, actually. It's in my car. I should just wear it. I don't know. I just didn't like wearing two bands anymore. I like this one because really the only two metrics I care about is sleep and my steps. And obviously Whoop, you can track your steps now, but this one, I like having the steps where it's right on my wrist. Right on the wrist where I don't have to where I can just go back and forth instead of having to go on my phone. But both are great. And you know what's even better? Not having technology at all, because you don't really need it. But if you like technology like me, again, I try not to get overwhelmed by it, because it's like, well, what metric? You can pick apart everything, and I'm not gonna have a watch tell me oh, you can't train today because you're in the red, or stuff like that. So I think use it sparingly. Use it how you want to use it too. I just think be consistent with it. Like maybe you do use it to dictate your training. Just be consistent with it. I think that's the biggest thing, like the trends with it. But yeah, I should probably put the whip back on. It is a good piece. I just don't like wearing the two bands recently. I look kind of weird with having two bands on. So yeah, let's get this breakfast. And that is what we got. The everyday special. The 5 eggs, 4-ounce turkey, green pepper, spinach, onion, and then just that sourdough toast with some Kerrygold butter. It hits every morning. It's the same routine. I know in these vlogs are probably like super repetitive, and I'm always like, I kind of show the same stuff. But then it's like, I watch a ton of vlogs and they show all the same stuff, and I love it. And it's funny, like when you make your own thing, you're critical of it, but then when you watch, you're like, oh, I love this. And so I think with it, it's like, it just shows I do the exact same thing every day. Really, it's just simple, just small routines. Do what works for you, and waking up, crushing some scrambies, getting to work is what works for me. So yeah, it's just the consistency. You know, I'm not trying to act like my life's super interesting. I love my life. I absolutely love my life. Don't get me wrong. But I eat, I work out, do some other stuff. I do some other stuff occasionally, but that's the basis of it. So let's eat this up. All right, so I just literally every morning I finish breakfast and I immediately come up here to my apartment. Has a super nice clubhouse that no one uses literally but me, which is wild. Every single morning I come here, and this is where I work from. This is my desk I use because I don't have a desk in my apartment. Also, I don't like working in my apartment. I like the change of scenery. So I come here every single morning without fail. And what I always do, or as in 2 months ago, I always wanted to journal and I never consistently did it. And then 2 months ago, December 2nd, I just started journaling. And now it's literally one of the highlights of my day. I look forward to it every day. So I just journal each day. Some days are longer than others. Some days I usually just do like a sentence the day before, maybe something happened. And then a lot of the times I'll look up not inspirational videos, but like videos that are like pertains to me and my current situation. So I'll do something like that. That's been a big thing. And I started that on December 2nd. And the reason I say that is because I think a lot of times, I used to be guilty of this when I was younger, is, you know, you wait to start a habit or something on the first of the month or on a Monday or at the perfect time. You try, January 1st, you try to find these things where it's like, why wait? Like maybe it's a Thursday and you're like, all right, I want to lock in. I want to start eating right. And I want to start eating in a caloric deficit. But I'll start that Monday. Because that's, you know, it's the start of the week. It's the weekend coming up. No, start it right away. Why wait? You know, if you wait, it's an extra 3 days that you're going to overthink. You'll be like, actually, no, I'm not going to do it. Believe me, I used to do that all the time. Now, I start stuff all the time randomly. Like, I started doing that journaling thing on December 2nd. Like, December 1st, I missed December 1st, and it was December 2nd. I was like, I'm going to start journaling. And I stuck to it. And then another thing, for example, last month, on like a Thursday, I've been averaging like 10,000 steps. I'm like, I want to average 12,000. So I started adding more steps. And I'm just saying this because it's like, you know, you can just progressively do something. You don't have to wait for the perfect time, because there is no perfect time. There never will be a perfect time, because you're just going to talk yourself out of it the more and more you wait on it. And one big benefit of it is you can start implementing those small changes, because I think a lot of the times you have this big change you want to do, and you're like, oh, I'm all in, and then you go from 0 to 100, and then you burn out after a week or two, or maybe a month. Whereas opposed to like you start slowly. That's one big thing I do too, is like everything in life is about progressive overload. How do you get stronger in the gym? You progressively, over the course of months and years, add weight, add sets, add reps, and you get better at it. Same thing with everything, like health and fitness. Like if you want to lose weight, or you want to get really locked in with your diet, but you don't track your calories, you don't weigh your foods, you don't even have an idea of stuff, or you're eating horribly, or don't even, like, there's all these things, and then you're like, okay, on Monday, I'm flipping my whole diet, I'm gonna eat breakfast every day, I'm gonna get 10,000 steps, I'm gonna do all this and that. You might stick to it for a week, but instead of like overwhelming yourself with that, start with one small change. Maybe you start loosely tracking your calories. Maybe you get a weight scale and kind of get an idea of what food is like, and then maybe that progressively turns into you get an understanding of calories. And then the next thing you add is like, okay, I'm gonna start getting a better breakfast. And then you get a better breakfast, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start cutting out snacks, and you progressively cut those out. It's just start small. Don't do this huge jump in where it's 0 to 100, and you're going from doing something or doing nothing to going all in and doing 100 different things. Because if you're like me, you get super overwhelmed by it and you won't be able to stick to it. So that's everything I've done with like nutrition, exercise. It's just small stuff. You get the ball rolling, the ball rolls, and then you progressively can build it up. So small changes lead to big things. I know it's obviously a very common thing for anything, but I notice it so much with my nutrition, with my workouts. It's like you just progressively build it up over time, and you start right now. You start right when you want to do it. You don't wait for a Monday. You don't wait for the top of the year, the top of the month, the perfect time. Just start it right away, and start small with the things you do, because you'll learn stuff along the way. It's not gonna be perfect at first, and that's a good thing. You learn stuff, you get used to it, and then you progressively add. So that's one thing I do. But another thing I want to show, and I showed this before, but it's funny. I'm always like, I don't track that many metrics, and then I'll show you the sheet, and you'll be like, this guy tracks fucking everything he does. I promise you it's not as complicated as it looks, but I'll show it. So I think I've shown it before, but I like writing my workouts out during a week, and I'll put like the date, I'll put a quote for the week. So that week I was overcomplicating my workouts, don't overcomplicate it. And I just put my workouts, sets and reps, my second workout or my sprint sessions, my cardio, my ab sessions, and then I'll put here, I'll put my sleep, what time I went to bed, what time I woke up, sleep duration, I'll put my morning body weight, how many steps I got that day, how many calories I ate, and then so out of 5, it's just like my feel based on the day. So 4 to 5, I felt good. 3 would be average, 2 below average, 4 above average, 5 feel outstanding. And I'll just put some notes for the day. So I have this, and I also have at the gym, I bring a notebook with me to track my workouts there, where it's more detailed, where I put all this I just put the overall general stuff. My notebook at the gym, I put all the sets and reps, and then I'll show this other chart. You're gonna be like, what the hell? But it's not. So then I essentially take all that and I put it in here, and it looks like a lot, but again, it's progressive overload. I just progressively did it, and I just keep on top of each day. It takes me like 3 minutes, and it's right there. So for me, I like tracking my sleep, how many hours I get, my morning body weight, how many steps I got, how many calories I ate that day, and then just my workouts I did, and then my body feel. So the big thing is like, and then from here, I just set it to like, I want to get at least 7 hours. So if I don't get 7 hours, I make it red. So 6.5, 6:15, that's red. And then at the end of the month, which I just did, I found out I averaged 726 this past month. That's perfect. I like that. With my steps, same thing. I averaged exactly 12,000 steps. My calories, for example, if you saw my last video, I talked about why I'm doing a deload week. It's because I've had a couple of these 5,900 calories, 55, 58, which, if that's 3 in a month, but if you look at it like 1 that month, 0 that month, 2. So it's kind of good to have these metrics to look back, be like, okay, I had a horrible cheat meal, and maybe it was way more than I usually do, but you always return to normal. And it's like, okay, well, in the 2 months prior, I only had, that looks like 2, but that was like 1 day. I only had 1. So it's stuff like that to remind you, because again, you can be your toughest critic with stuff, but that's why sometimes having these metrics, they can overwhelm you, but 2, they can help a lot with like, okay, we know, hey, this has happened before, we'll get back to baseline. So that's why I like to have it too. So looks like a lot of numbers, but basically find the metrics you want to track. For me, it's what's gonna move the needle. It's gonna be my sleep, making sure I'm getting at least 7 hours. I know 7 hours, I'll feel good, because that impacts everything. That impacts the work the next day, that impacts my workouts, everything, my mood, all that. So I know how important that is. And that, for me, I talked earlier, it's all about establishing that consistent bedtime each day. That has been the game changer for me. Morning body weight, just because I like knowing it. And if I'm going, like currently I've been bulking a little bit. I'm up like 6 pounds in the last like 4 or 5 months. So very slow bulk, but my next plan is to go into a cut, and I'm very excited for that after I hit the squat. And then step count, I like using steps. That's a new thing. Within the last year, but steps. I can go for hours about this, but increase your step count is the lowest hanging fruit. I mean, you burn extra calories. it's obviously great for you just to walk more, be outside more. Obviously it's wintertime, it's a little different, but if you can get on a walking pad, a treadmill, walk in circles around your house, I'll do that all the time. But just increasing your step count is such a low thing because it's not going to cause you to get fatigue, so you're not going to want to eat extra calories and just burn some extra stuff. Perfect way to do it. And then I track my calories because I weigh all my foods, and that works for me. Again, might not work for someone else, works for me. I like knowing how much food I eat to make sure, you know, for example, I eat 3,500 calories. That's a slight, it's about a 250 calorie, which is perfect for the bulk. So kind of those 3 cheat meals kind of actually helped out. And then, then just track my workout. So a lot of me talking in this video today, but I kind of wanted to make it like show some stuff that I do that hopefully can help other people, help you guys watching, like take away stuff, you know. Again, maybe you don't have to get as detailed as this. It took me a while to like start tracking all this and like finding a system for it, but now it's just easy to maintain. But find stuff that works for you. Maybe you really want to improve your sleep this month. So for a month, you track your sleep, what time you go to bed, what time you wake up, and your average sleep duration, and you compare that to last month. I think that stuff's fun because then you start like, oh, my sleep last month, I only averaged 7:15. This month I averaged 7:26. And then you get excited about that, and that's the fun stuff. So sometimes it can be overwhelming, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes I hate looking at metrics. Like if I know I have a bad night's sleep, I'm not looking at it because it can mentally affect me. But for the most part, it's been nice to have this stuff to kind of lean back on. So that's something I do. I track that, and then looks like a lot. Track your habits, and it's definitely been a game changer for me. Also, one more hack. Ambient noises. If you're an ambient noise guy, you throw a little fireplace on, you throw it in the earbuds. If you have it on the laptop, obviously you can exit out and do work and you still get the sound, but then if you're doing something on paper, you just look up and see a fireplace. Ultimate cheat code right there. That'd be an Interstellar soundtrack. All right, pre-gym, or pre-workout, sprint then gym. You know the routine. We got the 2 Chabanis on deck. We got the Kind clusters, and then we got some honey right there. Beautiful pre-workout meal. Knock this out, then we get sprinting. All right, just rolled up to the field. Apologize for the audio. It's pretty windy. So let's say, it's super nice out, but no, it's actually kind of cold. But it's February. Weather should be turning, hopefully. But repping some sprints here. Some 30-yard excels today. Or I guess not excels. 30-yard sprints. Some triple brow jumps. And then we'll head over to the gym. Get after it. Remember, one most important thing, if you're training for speed, it's all about quality, not quantity. So making sure you're getting a full warm-up in, max intensity with each sprint, and then you're resting. So I'm running 30 yards. I'm resting 3 minutes. That's how you have to do it. It's all about quality, not quantity. You want to run fast, you got to be rested. You can't someday. So
don't wait on tomorrow, cause tomorrow may not show. Say your sorries, your I love yous, cause man, you never know. If you got a chance, take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, cause a dream won't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody.
All right, just pulled up to the gym. So if you saw the last video, I'm doing a reload week. So all I'm really doing is I'm just cutting the volume down this week, still keeping the intensity high. So we're still got that power and pump session. So the sprints, I just did a little less than I normally would. Still felt fast, I feel good. This week has felt great, so I'm excited for it. So I'm gonna do a kneeling vertical jump, but I'm gonna do it with dumbbells. I got this from Will Rattel. I'm super excited to do it. I do a bunch of kneeling jumps, but I've never done them weighted. So I'll show that, we'll talk through that. And then I'll do some block power cleans. And then shoulders and arms. I'm gonna do, for shoulders 2 movements, I'm gonna do a dumbbell seated press. I'm gonna do a lateral raise, and then the arm work, I'll show you that when I get into it. I got it from a Christian Guzman video this week, and I really like the structure of it. It was a bicep superset, a tricep superset, so we'll get into that too. But reload week's going well, volume's down, but I'm feeling freaking great, so it's a beautiful day out. Let's get this power and pump in, baby. All right, we'll go set one. So how I'm loading it, I got 27.5 in each hand. So it's 55 pounds total, right? Do the math right, 55, yep. So that is 10% of my squat max, or my soon to be squat max at 550, because we're hitting that next week. But essentially what I'm doing with these at 10%, take like 10% of your squat max. So maybe your squat max 400 pounds, you have 40 pounds total, 20 in each hand. And that's kind of how I'm loading it. But just add load to it. Gonna go sets of 3, probably like 4 to 5 sets of 3. See how they're feeling.
Ooh, so fun. All right, that is super fun. I would definitely be adding those to the arsenal from now on. Weighted jumps are great. Trap bar jumps, barbell jumps, dumbbell jumps. Finding variations to just build some power. Also, if Olympic lifts are a little too complicated, you throw those in. It's just fun being athletic, you know? It's just fun moving. So I'll probably go 5 sets there, but really what you're thinking about, rapidly extend those hits, land, and then as quickly as you land, punch up, try to get as high as you can. Get used to regular jumps, then start loading it before you do it, but definitely a great movement there.
My boots by the door no more. There's nowhere I need to be that fast. People keep asking what I settled down for. I finally found something I want to make last.
All right, just did the first set of that superset I was talking about that I got from Christian Guzman, and it is freaking nasty. So I'll start with the bicep one. So I got the bench here at a 45-degree angle, and I'm doing a Zottoman curl. So what a Zottoman curl is you're doing a supinated curl up, and then at the top you're twisting, and then going to pronated curl all the way down. So twisting at the top, it's a 4-second lower. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 10 reps there, and then the second move is you drop this down to a 30-degree, and then you're hitting a spider hammer curl. So hammer curl, keeping that neutral grip in that spider position, coming down, hitting 12 reps there with a slow 3-second lower and a squeeze at the top. Just did one set, and this is awesome. I would say definitely go lighter than you think, because I've done like these like back-to-back bicep and triceps the last couple of weeks, and the first week I did them, I went way too heavy, and I had to keep doing like drop sets because I was so fried. So I definitely went a little lighter on the first set, but it was the perfect weight, and yeah, this is gnarly. So definitely the full thing is that nice and controlled the whole time, squeezing on those abdomens and those hammer curls, getting those, you get a nice bicep pump.
My stubborn pride laying on the floor, burn every bridge I built before. You pull me from the fire so I won't face the flames alone. You gave this gypsy heart the only home it's ever known. Never planned on making it quite this far. It's a hard road, sleeping on white lines.
All right, next part, we got the tricep part of the superset. Gonna use the rope for this one, so we're doing a cable French press. So standing behind, coming behind, 4-second lower, 1, 2, 3, 4. We go 10 reps there, and then we'll pop the rope up and just do a regular push down, squeeze in for a second at the top, and then 3 seconds the way up. Just did the first set, and naughty little thing. Again, same with the bicep, I would underload it to start because your triceps will just randomly give out on the second movement. So that bicep one was awesome, by the way. Great pump here. Just a great Saturday. You can't beat it.
I was always 12 steps behind. My stubborn pride laying on the floor, burn every bridge I built before. You pull me from the fire so I won't face the flames alone, and gave this gypsy heart the only home it's ever known.
just finished that lift and just finished that deload week. Now I'm in the sauna. I totally forgot how nice saunas are. I was using this a ton in the summer, and then the last like 3 months I just forgot about it. And then this last week I've been using it. I'm like, it's so nice in the sauna, just chill, man. So get in here for like 30 minutes. But yeah, I think that deload week was awesome, and I think I learned a lot. And I think that's a good thing with training is, you know, maybe you find yourself plateauing or things aren't working out. Try something else different for a week, and not to say you have to change to that, but then you kind of try different stuff out and you can bring that back to your training. So for me, it's like, I love the way I train. I love doing high volume. I love getting after it. That's the way I train. You know, I'm someone, I want to push the boundaries of recovery. I want to get right up to the cusp right before it's negative. And that's just the way I've always trained. You know, there's kind of that continuum, just doing enough and then knocking on the door of overtraining, and that's kind of where I like to be. But it's also good, you know, kind of realizing this week like how important deloads can be, and even doing deloads in a different sense. Like my idea of a deload was just reducing my volume, kept the intensity up, just literally brought the volume down in half, and I feel great. And that's a good thing. So I'm excited for next week of training. I'm excited for this next block. So again, we're gonna hit that 550 squat on Monday. We're gonna hit it, and then once we hit that baby, the next plan is go into kind of a cut. I want to try to get sub 8% body fat by the start of May 25th, whatever Memorial Day is that week before, because that's the start of the summer for me. So take it very slow over the course of 3 months. I'm excited for that because I can document that and then, you know, learn stuff along the way, can share it on here, help you guys out. But yeah, I think what I've learned with deloads is they're definitely beneficial, and you can approach it a million different ways. You don't have to do where everything's brought down. I treat it as a lower volume week, and it was well needed, but definitely excited to go back to literally it's the exact same training I'm doing. I just did less sets and overall exercises. So it's not like I'm going back to my normal thing. I did my normal thing, just going back to the higher volume. So man, these saunas are freaking awesome. I need to start taking advantage of these more. I've been using it throughout the week, and it's just nice to chill, throw a little podcast or throw a YouTube video on and just chill and watch this. So we'll pop in the sauna, then we'll leave the gym, get some food.
All right, got meal number 3. It's actually been a couple hours since I lifted. Forgot to eat, but we got salmon. Delicious. Rice. And then these sriracha Brussels sprouts. I did not make these. I brought the sriracha Brussels sprouts pre-made, but they are fire. But one quick hack, and I know it's very simple. It's probably not a hack, but if you're ever like, you don't want to eat, or you just ate and you're hungry and you're trying to wait till your next meal because you don't want to start snacking, obviously chugging a bunch of fluids, but electrolytes, I mean, throwing some good electrolytes in water, chugging that always fills me up. And then one of my go-to acts is like, okay, well, if I do need to eat something, but it's like, I want to wait before the next meal, an apple with a ton of water with like electrolytes in it will fill you up pretty good. Also, obviously, carbonated stuff. Shout out diet soda. I just discovered diet soda recently. I'm a caffeine fiend with energy drinks, but I just found diet soda, and that might be the new move. I can see why people who are cutting destroy that, because that fills you up. But yeah, just chugging a bunch of fluids can help definitely save some room, and then trying to find something tedious, take your mind off of it. But yeah, meal number 3 here. Crush this salmon. I eat the same stuff every day. I eat the same stuff, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So this is meal number 3. All right, fellas, got some exciting news. Boom. We're now working with Raw Nutrition, baby. Super stoked. So Raw Nutrition supplement company, I'm fired up. I love their stuff. I love the brand. Been following it for a while. Obviously a huge fan of CBum, so like it a lot, but I also just like the vibes of their brand and everything. Just badass. It's built for people who like to get after it, who like to train. You know, they got bodybuilders, they got athletes, powerlifters, everything. So super stoked. Love their supplements. I really like this pump product. This one's been really good. The watermelon, the flavoring's really good. And then protein powders, cookies and cream. I got chocolate peanut butter. These also have these really good shakes they just came out with. I got the salted caramel here. But super stoked to be working with Raw. So
yeah, it'd be fun. They got great stuff. I'm excited to work with like a brand like this. Also, like, you know, one of my big things is I really want to work with like brands I align with and that I believe in, and also like, you know, have common messages and work my way up with it. It fires me up, you know, got to work your way up. And they have some great stuff, and I definitely love the stuff. But if you're interested, want some supplements, my code is Dylan S. Dylan S. S and Shannon, that's my last name, Dylan S. So if you're interested, check it out. Would very much appreciate it. But yeah, some great stuff here. Super stoked. All right, this video is going to be a lot of me yapping in the kitchen today, but I got another yap sesh coming at you. But anyways, it's like, what time we got? 5:52 on a Saturday. And I don't have a super interesting life outside of working out. I literally work out and then don't do much. And today's a Saturday, so I finished working out at like 12. And I've kind of just been chilling the rest of the day. But something I do is like, I can't sit still for like more than 2 hours. Like, I'm like a dog. I got to go for walks or a car ride. So I go for a ton of walks. And one thing I talked about earlier and one thing I showed that I track is my steps. And I think steps, increasing your step count, I don't want to say a game changer, but damn, it might be a game changer. I mean, I started kind of tracking my steps more within the last year. And I'll tell you what, I'm averaging like 12,000 steps now. And it's, one, I love going for walks. I love just going outside, going for a walk. Gives you something to do. If you're bored, it gives you something to do. One thing too, whenever I'm bored, I overeat because it's like, it's like I have nothing to do. I might as well eat. But it's like, no, bro, you're not hungry. You're just bored. So I do that a lot. So what I do now, a lot of times I'll chug a bunch of water and then go for a walk. Now, the downsides of that, if you're walking in the city and they don't have public bathrooms, you got to hold it. But otherwise, if you're just walking around the neighborhood, you can obviously use bathrooms. But chug a bunch of water, get filled up, and then just get your steps in, man. Like, I know right now it's wintertime, so if you're in a colder climate, like, at least I'm not in Virginia, it's not too bad. So I can't complain, but even just walking around, a lot of the times, like my kitchen, I'll walk around in circles around this just to get some steps in, and I'll doom scroll. So that's what I do a lot of the time. So I think one thing with steps is like, it's almost so like, people can't talk. I remember people always saying like, oh, get your steps out. And I was like, sounds too good to be true, too easy to be true. You just go walk and do a low intensity and that can help burn calories. And I'll show a chart right here, but this is a chart, this is kind of based off body weight, but like 10,000 steps for a 200-pound individual burns like 495 calories a day. Every 2,000 above that's an extra 100. 2,000 extra steps, like a 15-minute walk. That's not bad at all. So I get 14,000 steps. That's 200 extra calories. And I'll be experimenting a lot more with this when I'm off this like maintenance bulk or lean bulk phase and I'm in this caloric deficit, because I'm someone, I don't want to cut calories. I'd rather do more activity. And now with walking, the big thing with that as opposed to cardio, it's not going to make you more hungry. Just going for a walk and increasing your steps, like it's not too of a high of a demand where it's going to cause this need for hunger. Whereas if you do a lot of cardio, you know, you're going to obviously need fuel to recover from that, and it's going to cause you to get more hungry. So I'll say it once, I'll say it before, get your steps up. Steps, I'll be honest, I used to sleep on it. I used to be like, steps. What am I like, you know? Like I was better than steps. No one's better than steps. I'm telling you. One, going for walks is fun. I like going for walks. If you have a dog, there it's easy. If you have a partner, if you have a wife or something, you're not a single dude like me, you know, you can go with someone else. Or you're like me, you throw in the earbuds, listen to a podcast. Here's another one. You doom scroll while you do it. I doom scroll all the time. Everyone doom scrolls. What I do sometimes, I'm like, well, if I'm doom scrolling, I might as well just walk. At least do something productive while I'm doing it. That's not to say every time I doom scroll, I walk, but that is very low-hanging fruit too, because now your mind's super stimulating. You're like, you're walking, you get excited. Oh, you'll get a bunch of steps in. Believe me, you can walk around your kitchen. I do that all the time. So, moral of the story, get your steps in. They are a very low impact, low-hanging fruit. I was the one who used to sleep on them, like, what are steps going to do? They can help a lot too. Help a lot to just throw those in. And don't be like, if you're getting like 5,000 steps now, don't be like, oh, I'm getting 10,000 tomorrow. Gradually build your way up, just like I said earlier with anything. Maybe you get 6,000 for a couple weeks and 7, 8. It's just progressive over time. So that's kind of my step rant. Yeah, I have to go walk. I walk around the block all the time. I go drive a couple miles, a mile away and walk around. I've walked around this city I live in, Richmond, everywhere. I've seen everything. Sometimes I get bored of it, so I'll just walk on a treadmill in my apartment. But for the most part, I walk outside. So a lot of yapping in the kitchen today. Also, look at that. We still got the damn Christmas tree up, and it is February 1st. I don't know if it's focusing. Me and my brother, who's my roommate, we said we're gonna get rid of it, and we have nowhere to dispose of it, so we need to get rid of that. But yeah, cooking up dinner now, and I got something exciting to show. I'll show it. So what we got here, fellas, and the few ladies who watch my videos. Hey, shout out the few ladies who do watch my videos, because the 99.8% male that my demographics show, there's 0.2% that I appreciate you guys. But anyways, we got here, this is from Whole Foods again. They've got this carne asada beef skirt steak, 170 calories, 19 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat. This usually yields, it says a pound, but usually once you cook it, it's like 8 to 9 ounces. These tortillas are pretty nice, 110 calories. I usually go 3 or 4 of them. And then, I show it all the time, but I am a fajita veggie, onion, bell pepper fiend. I mean, I always talk about the volume of this. It is so much food for a low cost. And then also, don't tell Rain, but as you know, I'm an energy drink connoisseur. But the reason I drink the Rain, Razzleberry, and Melomania is because those are my favorite flavor energy drinks, any brand. But I've been trying out some Grill of Mine ones, and I've tried like the orange one, the black. They've been decent. They haven't been to die for, but I'm excited for this one. Berry Burst. I imagine it's going to kind of taste like the Razzleberry because there's berry in the name. And if it does, it's got the same, it might taste like Razzleberry. I almost want to drink this now. I might have to do a taste test tomorrow with it because I'm excited. But I've reached out to Rank a million times, and I'm not like bitter or anything. Like, I don't mean that. But I do love trying different energy drinks. I drink Ghost all the time, C4, all the other ones. It's just, I will say S tier is Razzleberry Rain, Watermelon Rain. I actually should probably do a video on, I do want to do a video on that, energy drink rankings, because I've had every energy drink out there. So maybe I should buy a bunch and do a taste test live. That'd be kind of fun. But we'll cook up this dinner. I'll quit yapping. I'll see you when the meal's ready. We're talking meats here, fellas. Woo! I don't know if the camera does it justice. That looks delicious. All right, that is how they turned out. It's like 9 ounces of skirt steak, 3 tortillas, and a bunch of fajita veggies. It's like 850 calories. So puts me like 3175 for the day. Let's check real quick. 3175, so a little under maintenance. Maybe I'll have an apple later. We'll see. Depends how much to fill me up. But 240 grams of protein. Good day of eating. But I will enjoy this, and I will wrap the video up here. It was quite a yapping session today, but you know what? I like yapping. I like getting on here, talking about fitness, talking about working out stuff. Hope I can help someone in any way. But as always, appreciate everyone watching. Keep getting after it. Stacking damn days. If you could like, comment, subscribe. It helps a lot. We're growing this channel, baby, one by one. Let's do it. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.